In the previous lecture, I have already explained about what actually the tourism is, and after that I have explained about the what is marketing, and after that we have discussed what is tourism marketing. Different definition we have already seen in the previous in the orientation class, and even we have discussed the nature of tourism marketing. So all these things like tourism, what is tourism, and what is marketing, and what is tourism marketing, and what is the nature of tourism marketing, that we have discussed in the previous class. So in this class we will start with the process of marketing. So process of marketing involves, the first step in the process of marketing is the needs, and after that it comes to wants, demand, benefit and satisfaction, then product and service offer, and the sixth stage is exchange and transaction, and last stage is feedback. So we will start with the first process of tourism marketing, that is the needs. So if we talk about the needs, needs are like very simple things that we think we must have. Need motivate a person to act when it reaches the threshold level. So need are like very simple things. These are the very basic things that uh, every person have. Like we are have the need of food. If we are hungry, we must have the food, and if we are not able to satisfy, we will not be. If we are not able to uh, satisfy that kind of need, it will create the problem and the tension in the consumers. So because of that, needs are like very basic things, like for example clothing. If you want to go somewhere, you need a basic kind of clothes, a basic kind of dress to wear. If you if you will travel to any destination, there should be some kind of there should be a basic kind of safety and security at the destination. If any destination is not safe, and if any destination is not secure, you might not travel to that kind of destination, right? So needs are like very basic thing that must be satisfied, and if it is not satisfied, the customer will not be happy. So there is a there is a hierarchy theory which is given by the Maslow. It is known as Maslow hierarchy theory of needs. So he has categorized the need into 5 categories. So the basic category of need is, can you see the first one? Physical.
No, sir, the slide is stuck. It's still on the tourism marketing page.
I
I
have
can see it,
changed.
sir.
It should come up. Yes. So the can you see the Maslow hierarchy theory of needs? Can
Yes,
you
sir.
see the slide? Yes. So needs are like very basic thing, and Maslow has categorized the need into 5 categories. The first one is the physical needs. It is like need for food. If we are traveling to any destination, we need a minimum level of food. We need food at the destination. If we are not getting uh, uh, a minimum kind of food, we are not asking about the luxurious kind of food. We are not asking about a specific kind of food. Level of minimum level of acceptance of food will be there. If food is not provided at the destination, we will not be able to go there. What are the things that you need if you will travel to a destination? Food is very important. You need a minimum kind of food, water, warmth, rest. So these are like physical needs which must be satisfied at the destination if you are traveling to any destination. And if you are not getting this kind of things at the destination, you will not be happy. So once the basic need, that is physical need, is satisfied, the other level of need arise, that is the safety and security needs. So if you will travel to any destination, you need some kind of safety and security. If safety and security is not there, you might not travel to that kind of destination. So safety and security is the second level of needs that is given by the Maslow. And after that comes the third level of need, that is belongingness and love needs. It is like if you are traveling to any destination, the person who is going to host you, the community who is going to host you, they should love you. They should not hesitate to uh, welcome you. They should love you. So that is the third level of third level of need that is given by the Maslow. And after that it comes the fourth level of need, that is esteem needs, that is uh, prestige and feeling of accomplishment. There are so many people, they used to travel to destination because they want name and fame in the family or in the friend circle. Because of that, they used to travel. And if we talk about the tourists, they want the host community where actually we are traveling, they should welcome us and they should understand the importance of the tourists. So that is called the esteem need. They should understand the importance, how much important we are for the local community. If we are going to any local area, they should understand the importance of the tourists, because we are the person, the tourist is the person who is going to give something in return, that is we can buy the handicraft from the local people. So they should understand the importance of the tourist. That is the fourth level of the needs. And after that, the fifth level of the need is self actualization. Uh, it is like the ultimate goal of someone. Like you might have the ultimate goal to be a model, or you might have ultimate goal to cover all the continents in the world. So you want to cover all the continents in the world. Once you will cover all the continents in the world, that is your very high level of the needs. So Maslow has classified the need into five categories. The first one is a very basic one, that is the physical. Actually it is physiological, but that is actually physical needs, which is related to the food, which is related to the water, which is related to the sex, you can say. These are the very basic things that a person must have. So after that, in the tourism marketing process comes the bonds. So there is a slight difference between wants and the needs. Like I am very hungry, I want to have food, that is fine. I want to have a food, that is fine. But if I am expressing that need into a specific form, I want to have food, but if I am saying that I want to have burger, pizza, or something like that, that is called the wants. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
If you are expressing your need into a specific form, that is called the wants. Like I want to go to Kashmir, that is fine. I want to go to Kashmir, but and I want to travel from Delhi to Kashmir by car, and the car should be Mercedes. So I'm expressing the need of the car in specific form, that should be Mercedes, right? So if any need that is expressed in the specific form, that becomes the wants, right? So need is one thing and wants is one thing. So the marketer, those who are marketing the tourism offer, they should understand the difference between the need of the customer and the wants of the customer. For example, a tourist can travel to Simla from Delhi by cab, but when he wishes a particular kind of car, it becomes the wants that I have, like already tell. Like I want a Mercedes, so that is my want. I want to go to I want to go to Darjeeling, but if I am saying that I want to go to Darjeeling by flight only, then it becomes the my want. if I say I want a business class ticket, that is my wants. Are you getting to differentiate the need and wants?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So want is one important thing, and after that comes the demand. Like we have so many kind of desire, we have so many kind of wants, but we cannot satisfy all the wants. Like I want to go to USA, but if I don't have the money, I cannot go to USA. So human wants are backed by the purchasing power or the buying power. So demand is very important. Like I cannot purchase all the things. Like I can purchase only those kind of things which I have to which I have capability to purchase. If I don't have the money to purchase that kind of things, I won't be able to purchase. So demand like changes with the prices. If the price is less of the product, so demand might be a very high. So these are the things that affect the demand, like price, marketing efforts, inflation, inflation level, and income. So income is very important. Like my salary is around, for example, my salary is around 40 to 50K, but I have so many expenses. Like I have to pay the rent, I have to pay for the food expenses, so I will not be able to save the money. In that 50,000 is my income, but in, but I have so many expenses, and after meeting all these kind of expenses, if still I am able to save the money, that is called the disposable income. So disposable income is very important. If a tourist is having so much disposable income, then only he will be in a position to travel to any destination. So disposable income is a income where meeting like when we have give the where we have gave the taxes, and we have made all our expenses. After that we are having in a position to save some kind of money, that is called the disposable income. So disposable income uh, decide the demand of the customer. If any customer is having so many disposable income, he might have a very great demand for luxurious kind of things. So demand is a factor that is also very important in the tourism marketing, because traveling is not free of cost. You need some money to travel to any destination, and after that comes the benefit and satisfaction. Need and wants can be satisfied by offering desired benefit. So what is the desired benefit? If a person wants something and if you are not able to give that kind of things, he will not be satisfied. So once we have understood the needs of the customer and what actually he wants and what is the demand of the customer, we can offer the product and services as per his need and demand, as per his need and wants and demand. So a company, a marketer must be in a position to understand the need and want and the demand, and according to these three things he must be able to give the services to the customer so that they can be satisfied. And of like the need for recreation, for example, the need for recreation can be met through the leisure tour within the country or abroad at number of destinations. So we must understand where actually the customer want to go. If he if he's for example, a customer come to a company and he's saying that I want to go to Shimla, that is fine, you want to go to Shimla. It is the responsibility of the marketer. It is the responsibility of the salesman. He should ask the person why you want to go to Shimla, because customer actually don't say why actually they want to go to Shimla. They will just say I just want to go to Shimla. They won't tell you the reason behind it why actually they want to go to Shimla. If you are not asking the counter question, you will be in problem. like you have offered the Simla package. Once the customer will go to Shimla, and if it is not satisfied, you have offered the adventure kind of packages to the customer, but actually he doesn't want that kind of packages. He didn't want that kind of packages. So what will happen? He will not be satisfied because you didn't ask the question, what is the purpose of going to Simla? So the need must be identified. According to that, we can offer the services to the customer so that we can give the satisfaction and benefit to the customer. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So tourism, after that, the fifth thing is tourism product service offer. So there are different types of packages. There are like package, fixed packages and customized packages. So we can create that kind of packages as per the need of the customer. So there are like religious tour, adventure tour, pilgrimage tour, and like dark tourism kind of tour, leisure tour, and so many kind of tours are there. So we must have different kind of offer, different kind of product to offer to the customer so that we can meet the requirement of the customer. Because if we doesn't have the product, we cannot sell anything because product is very important. If we talk about the tourism industry, product is nothing but the two packages that we are going to sell to the customer. So we must have different kind of packages so that we can offer to the customer. Because without the product we cannot survive in the market. We must have some kind of product to the for offering to the customer, right? Without it we cannot be into the market. So that is very important in the process of tourism marketing. The first thing is we need to identify the need, then we must understand the difference between the wants and the need, and the second thing is the demand. We cannot satisfy all the needs because it is backed by the purchasing power. If a person wants to go to Shimla but he doesn't have the money, he cannot go to Shimla. We must understand the demand that is backed by the purchasing power. We should ask the budget of the customer. According to that, we can offer the Shimla packages because Shimla can be you can go to Shimla around 10K as well, and you can explore Shimla within 1 lakh as well. It is depend on the demand of the customer, what kind of packages he wants. Kind he want budget kind of packages or the luxurious kind of packages. So Shimla can be explored within the 10K as well, within the 1 lakhs as well. It is the totally depends on the demand of the customer, what kind of packages they want. Are you getting my points, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we will move to the exchange and the transaction. That is also uh, process of marketing. Like there must be a transaction. A company cannot sustain in the market if they are not getting something in return. A customer cannot be satisfied if he's not getting something in return. So there must be exchange and transaction between the marketer in the sense the companies and the tourists. So there if whatever the customer is paying, whatever amount of money the customer is paying, he must get the value for that kind of money. If he is paying so much money, he must give the value for that paid amount. If he is not getting the value, whatever he has paid and whatever he has expected from the company, he will not be satisfied. Even like there are sometimes happen like in the, I have worked in Hyderabad. There was a case. I had a customer from Mumbai. So there were like 17 people, four couples and some kids and all are there. Totally there were around 17 people. So I have offered them Nainital, Nainital packages, Virgin Corbett packages. It was like 4 lakhs packages. So in that case, what happened? The customer expectation was we must get the 3-star hotel, and we also promised that we will provide you 3-star hotels. But actually, what happened in that case, I have showed all the pictures of the hotel, and he was like, okay, you can book that kind of hotel, and the pictures is looking like very good, you can book the hotel. But once he reached the destination, he doesn't find the hotels very good. He he started complaining about the hotels, because sometimes happens like the pictures of the hotels are very good, and we can just download from the website and we can send it to the customer. But actual reality we can understand only when the tourist is there at the destination. So in that case, it is like he was expecting something like 3 kind of star hotel, but we were not in a position to give the 3-star category hotel, because we thought it is 3 star, and even we have spoken with the hotel hoteliers. They said, yeah, it is 3-star hotel. But tourists once the tourists reached there, they said that it is not at all a good hotel. It is like very bad in condition. The rooms are dirty. It is not clean. So that happens. So what will happen in this case? The customer will be unsatisfied, because we promised that we will give 3-star hotel, and it will be like very clean, and like you can your experience will be very good. But the case is just opposite to that. He was not satisfied. So it happened like he cancelled the hotel rooms, and I have already paid for the hotel rooms, and he said that I don't want to stay in that hotel, so please try to cancel it. And I'm like very unsatisfied with the services of your company, because I said already that I want 3-star kind of hotel, but you have booked like very budget kind of hotels. So it happens sometime, because we we are like we cannot go to every cities, and we cannot stay in all the hotels. So we can just see the pictures of the hotel and feedbacks of the hotels. According to that, we design the package. But sometimes it happens that the our whatever we have read and whatever we have seen, it doesn't meet the actual situation. So exchange and transaction is very important. whatever we have uh, Whatever we have promised to the customer, we must give the value for the money he has paid. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
And after that, feedbacks comes. Both the parties will get experience for the future exchanges. So I have told the story. In that case, what actually happened? So he said that because he was totally unsatisfied, like if a customer is satisfied, if a customer is unsatisfied, he you cannot satisfy him at the destination, because he will try to find out little problem. Even though you have offered 3-star kind of hotel, and he will go to that hotel, and he will try to find out the problems that the hotel have. He will check all the rooms properly, and if he will find a minor problem, a minor like a little dirtiness in the rooms or something like that, he will complain about the services, because he has because first experience is very important. If the first experience is like very bad for the tourist, he will always complain for the services that you have offered. So feedback is like very important. So in my case, what happened? He said that you didn't uh, you didn't give the good services, and I'm going to post on your website that you are like liar, something like that, he said. And he has posted, and he said that you have to return my money. So so what happens in this case, you have to listen to the customer because he is already unsatisfied. So in that case, we need to understand what actually the problem was. So feedback is like very important. It gives the experience both for the tourist as well as for the company. So feedback, with the help of feedback, we can solve the problem what actually happened at the destination. So this is called the process of marketing. First we need to identify the needs, and after that we need to differentiate between the need and wants, and then we have to understand the demand of the customer. Then it comes like we have to satisfy the customer. Then like we have to offer something, like we need to have some kind of product to offer to the tourist. Then exchange and transaction, customer must get whatever he has paid for it. And the feedback help the company to understand the problems of the customer. It helps the company to improve the services in the future. Did you understand the process of marketing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the next topic is tourism growth and its approaches. I just come back. I just want to have water. Just wait for a second. Is it clear whatever I am explaining?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will discuss about the tourism. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we will discuss about the tourism growth and its approaches. So if we talk about the tourism marketing, there is two kind of marketing. One is general marketing, and second thing is we have to relate that general marketing with the tourism. And if we are in a position to relate that marketing with tourism, that is called the tourism marketing. So so tourism approaches is nothing but the more marketing concept. So we will discuss about the boosterism approach that was in the 1950s. So this is all this is also called as production concept. If we will discuss about the general marketing, so in the coming next slide we will discuss also the general marketing concept. So we will start with the tourism marketing concept so that you can understand what actually happened in the past. So boosterism approach that was in the 1950s. So this approach was actually based on the following assumptions toward the tourism. So the first assumptions was like tourism is inherently good and should be developed. If we talk about tourism, tourism was always there, but tourism was not in a organized form. It came into existence once the Thomas Cook managed some kind of tour in 1841. But still, the marketing, tourism marketing was not there. The importance to the marketing was not given in the tourism field. It came into existence only in 1950s onwards. So the first step in the tourism marketing concept was in 1950s. So in that in that case, what happened actually? The people who were working there in the government sector, the policy maker, they have understood the importance of tourism. So tourism can be developed. It should be developed. Why it should be developed? Because of tourism, we can promote India as a incredible India. So there were so many organizations at that time. They have been established, like ITDC was there, Ministry of Tourism was there. So in the first step, what happened actually, they have understood the importance of tourism, and they have tried to exploit the tourism resources like natural resources and cultural resources. They, they have understood the importance of cultural and natural resources, and they try to exploit this kind of resources for the tourism development. Like if we talk about India, like diversity, nature, there are so many kind of things in India you can get. Like if you will go to Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh, you can experience the mountains, you can experience the hills and all. And if you will come to western part of India, so it is surrounded by the surrounded by the Arabian Sea. So you can experience the beach kind of activities. And if you will go to the eastern side, also you can experience the beach kind of activities. And if you will go to the western India, like northwestern India, like Rajasthan, Gujarat, so there are so many Havelis, there are so many heritage kind of thing that you can experience in the Rajasthan and the Gujarat. All these places are like very famous because Rajputs were there, and because of that, so many Havelis are there and heritage kind of things you can experience. And if we talk about the um, like Delhi and yeah, Delhi. So there are so many historical things that you can experience because Delhi was the capital since long back. So these are the things that were supposed to be developed. So in the first step, what happened? Like they tried to develop the destination. They tried to create the infrastructure development. They tried to focus on the how we can uh, how we can actually attract so many tourists and we can accommodate them. So for if you want to attract so many tourists to a destination, it the destination must have the accessibility. For the accessibility to the destination, you must develop the infrastructure, like you must develop the road and the connectivity to the destination. So that was understood that was happened in the 1950s. They have developed new destination, and they have like built the new kind of hotels, and whatever the problems was there in the growth of tourism, they tries to solve it. Like accessibility is the most important thing. They try to solve it, and they have like for accessibility to the destination, they try to they try to build a new airport so that they can attract so many tourists at the destination. So in the first step, they try to develop new destination because they have understood the importance of the cultural values that India has, or any countries in the world they have. And even the natural resources can be exploited for tourism because there are so many lodges that we can build in the jungles areas. So that can be done in the first step. After that comes the second step. Are you getting my first point? That is
Yes, sir.
tourism.
Yes, sir.
So, like it was all about developing the destination, regional development, understanding the cultural values and the natural resources. So, according to that, they have developed so many destinations. So, once they have developed the destination, after that, what they thought that they have understood the importance of tourism, and they thought that tourism can be like any other industry because it can create the jobs. How they can create the job? Like if you are, sorry, if you are, if the governments or the private sectors working together and they are creating hotels, they can create the job for the local people, right? So in that case, they can attract so many tourists. They can attract the foreign tourists into India, and with the help of that, they can earn the foreign exchange. And foreign exchange is very important for the balance of payment, right? You might have studied in the accounting and all. BOP, balance of payment, is very important, and without the foreign exchange, we cannot balance the BOP. So because of that, they have understood the tourism industry as a like economical potential that can be helpful in creating job. The local community can get something in return. They can sell their handicraft and they can earn the money. And if we talk about the contribution from the tourism industry in the GDP of the world, it is like 10% we are contributing from the tourism industry only. So it is so much. So because of that, they have understood the importance of the tourism industry, and they try to utilize the destination to earn the money for the local community, for the private sector, for the private stakeholder, and even for the government. And they try to increase the regional development. They have find out different destination and they have developed. So in this step also, developing new destination was there, but they were trying to develop destination, and from that kind of development they were trying to earn money. So that was the second step, right? And after that comes the physical and spatial approach in the 1970s and 80s. So once they have developed like so many destinations, so we cannot they were not in a position to develop that kind of destination in a very balanced way. So because of that, to some destination mass tourism happened, and it impacted the environment, right? So what actually the new assumptions were formed, like tourism is a resource user. Of course, it is a resource user. We cannot promote a beach tourism without utilizing the beach. We must utilize the beach, and if the so many tourists are going to the beach, they will try to like exploit the beach, and they might smoke there, they might drink there, and they can throw the garbage at the beach. So that they understood the importance of natural resources. It should not be so much exploited, because it should be exploited in a such way that it can be used by the future generation. So what happened in this case, uh, they try to develop the destination in a very balanced way. Like if we talk about Nainital is very famous destination in the month of June, May and July. So many tourists, lakhs of people used to come there. And even if you talk about Darjeeling, Gangtok, May, in the month of May, June and July, these are the destinations which which received a huge number of tourists in the month in the summer vacation. So what happens? What happens at the destination? The destination is not in a position to occupy all the tourists. So in that case, exploitation will be there of the natural resources, and so many problems will arise in the destination. So in the physical and spatial approach, they try to understand the importance of so many destinations, and they try to develop new destinations, so that we cannot promote only one single destination or two destinations. We should promote the India or the world in a very balanced way, so that tourists should not go only to a particular destination. Like every destination is having a physical carrying capacity. Like when I was working in Hyderabad in 2019, the government of Nainital, they called the travel agent and they said that please don't try to promote Nainital. Even though they were earning a lot of money, they said that please don't promote the Nainital, because we are not in a position to satisfy the need of the customer. A huge number of tourists are coming, and there is a water scarcity, because it is a hilly station, so they cannot provide water facilities to all the tourists. So because of that, they said that don't promote the tourists. Instead of Nainital, you should try to promote the Jim Corbett or the uh, what is near to the Nainital. Yeah, some nearby destination that you can opt instead of Nainital. So this said like that. Even in case of like Darjeeling and Bangkok, in the month of June, it happens that like the travel agent companies and the destination management company, they used to call us like, please don't book any northeast packages because we are not in a position to provide the services because we don't have the cars. All the cars are booked, all the hotels are booked in the month of July, June, and May. So we cannot accommodate more people. So physical carrying capacity is nothing but uh, every destination is having some kind of limit, and they cannot accommodate beyond that limit. So that is called the physical carrying capacity. So in this approach, they have tried to develop new destination because they have understood the importance of the natural environment, and they understood that it should not be exploited and the future generation must be in a position to use this kind of natural environment in the future. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it like clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go to the next slide. Just wait for a second, I'll just come back. Is it fine? I'll just come
Yes,
Yes,
back
sir.
sir.
Yes.
in.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just go to the next slide. So in the fourth approach, uh, tourism continued to be developed and its social impact were noticed. Particularly, the local communities feel alienated. It led to the focus on the following assumption. The first assumption was like local community control on tourism development in the area is needed. It means that the marketer and the tourists were going to the marketers were developing the destination and they were trying to promote the destination, and it was okay because of the promotion. The marketers were able to earn the money and even the tourists were like satisfied. But the thing was that in this approach they have understood the importance of the community. Like if you are traveling to my city, you can travel to my city, that I don't have any problem. You can come to Lucknow and you can visit the Lucknow. I don't have any problem. But the thing is that if I am not getting something in return, the community is not getting something in return, all the profit is going in the hands of the marketer or in the hands of the uh, companies. the community will be in the problem, because we are the people, we have the places to show to the tourists, and if we are not getting the money, and if we are not able to earn something from the tourism, the community will not be able to accept that kind of tourism, and they might hesitate to accept new tourists in the host area. So because of that, in this approach, they have understood the importance of the community, and they have given some kind of control to the community. If community doesn't want the destination, the local area should be promoted. It should not be promoted without the consent of the local community. If the local community is getting benefited, and if the local community is like they are concerned for the development of the destination only, the destination will be promoted. And because of that, because if you talk about tourism, like if you will go to any rural areas, and if you are from western countries, your culture is very different from the culture of the local people, and you might affect the local culture of that destination. So because of that, there was like demonstration effect in the community. They tried to copy the culture of the tourists. They they went there and they tried to promote their culture, and because of that, the local community was in a situation that they were adopting the culture of the Western people. So because of that, our culture, that is Indian culture, was getting depreciated. So because of that, uh, there should be some kind of restriction in this scenario. So because of that, local community were given some kind of authority. If they want to accept the tourists, and if they are like okay with it, then only the we will promote that destination, and we will send the tourists. So community importance of community was understood in the in this approach. Are you getting my points right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So local people should be benefited with the tourism, even though they are like getting affected by the foreign people or the any other people, but still they should get something in return. Otherwise, who will promote any destination if they are not getting something in return? So because of that, it was like the importance of community was understood, and then the fifth approach came into existence in the 1990s. Actually, not in the 1990s, it came into there was a Stockholm Convention in the 1972, something like that. So they have understood the tourism industry totally, and tourism industry was the industry they were exploiting the natural things in a very great way. So because of that, they try to promote the tourism in a very sustainable way. So in this approach in the 1990s, what happened, like for the assumption for this approach is that a suitable balance must be established between the environmental, economic, and socio-cultural dimension of tourism development to ensure its long-term sustainability. So it means that if any tourist is going to any destination, he should take care of the environmental things. He should care, he should take care of the natural phenomena. Even the marketer should be in a position so that they can consider the importance of natural resources. Environment and the natural resources must be into consideration, and even like without economic benefit, we cannot do the we cannot do any kind of business. So there must be economic benefit for the marketer, for the local community must get something, and even the marketer should get something. If both are not getting, they cannot promote any destination. Nobody is gonna work for without profit. So environmental importance and economic importance and the socio-cultural. Like there should be there should be tourism, but it should not impact, it should not affect the local culture of the people of the host community. They can they should not actually the adopt, and the foreign tourists should not enforce them to adopt their culture. Like they can exchange their culture, but they should not adopt their culture, because it will be like you know so socio-cultural dimension and of tourism development was also understood. Environmental and economic and socio-culture, these are the very few very important things that they have understood in the sustainable approach that was in the 1990s. Are you, did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is now we will discuss about the tourism marketing orientation, or you can say the tourism marketing concept. So if we talk about the, like we have discussed the boosterism approach. So if we will relate this production approach and the product approach, it will almost related to the boosterism approach that we have discussed related to the tourism. So if we talk about the production approach, so in this approach, what is the time now?
Sir, it's 10:26.
Okay, I'll just brief about it. So it is
Okay.
almost related to the tourism marketing, whatever we have discussed, like boosterism approach, and after that it was like economic this economic planning approach. So it is almost related to the this approach. So in this what actually we will discuss related to the general marketing, and I will try to relate with the tourism as well. So in the production approach, what actually happened, say they try to produce more and more product. They were not focusing about the satisfaction of the consumer. They were just producing the product more and more, and uh, they were trying to available this kind of product to the customer. So they were producing and they were trying to uh, promote, not promote, they were trying to sell this kind of product to the customer, because if they are producing the customer, they didn't understand the need of the customer. They were just focusing on the production level. So they were producing and they were selling to the customer. But the thing is that what will happen in this case, if you are just producing more kind of packages, religious packages, adventure packages, pilgrimage packages. So because without understanding the need of the customer, you can produce we can create the new packages, but the thing is that we cannot satisfy the need of the customer. So in the production approach, they were just focusing about the creating new packages, creating new destination that we have discussed in the boosterism approach. So they were just developing the new destination, but they didn't understand the need of the customer. So they were just focusing on the production, and they were thinking that if we will produce more, we can sell it more. So that was the first approach. They didn't understand the need and they didn't think about the satisfaction of the customer. They were just try to create new destination and packages. Are you getting my point? Should I
Yes,
stop it
sir.
here and we will discuss it later tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever I have discussed, like you have understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt, you can text me in the chat box. I'll just answer it. Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Is it clear? Pakka?
Y- yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's clear.
Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss about the production of foods, product, sales, marketing. So it is just similar to the whatever we have discussed. And after that we will discuss about the services and its type. Like because if you talk about tourism industry, it is almost like 80% it is service industry, and 20% it is like you can say we have like tangibility, even intangibility, but if we talk about the characteristic of the tourism product, more percentage will go to the intangibility, and like these are the characteristics like intangibility, separability, all these things we will discuss like types of services, and after that we will discuss about the characteristics of the tourism offers. So that is like very important and it is a little interesting as well. So I'll wind up here, and I'll just take the attendance. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are like 25 people are there. I don't know who is absent. I'll just call the registration number. I'll just check the registration number.
Yes, sir.
Is you can note it down. Registration number 2 is not there. I don't know who is.
No, sir. Registration number 2 is there. 1, 2, 3 is not there. That's Joy. She's out of role. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 8. Christina is not there.
Hmm.
9, 10, 11,
Christina
12,
is
13,
And
not.
then
14.
Sange and Christina.
Okay, I have
Uh,
downloaded the attendance. Okay, that's fine. So those who didn't attend the meeting, they can go and they can check